Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to day 4 of the 21-day Success Mindset Challenge. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking all about how much of your past is creating your future. So are you creating your future based on the things that have happened in your past? So what happens when we try and create new things in our business? We set a goal, we try and do something new. It's going to require us to be someone else. It's going to require something different from us, because everything that we're experiencing right now is because of who we've been up until this point, right? So we need to think differently, feel differently, take different actions. The problem that happens with most of us, and the problem that I certainly noticed a lot for me, was that I would go about trying to do something new, trying to do something different, but I would carry a whole load of baggage around with me from my past memories, all the things that hadn't worked, all of the failures, all compounding and stacked up. I wasn't letting them go. I wasn't releasing them. I wasn't starting afresh. I was dragging them into the future towards my next goal with me, right? So one of the affirmations I ended up creating for myself was that I choose my dream and not my past. Because every time we divert back to the past, we're thinking about the past. When we're thinking about our mistakes, when we're thinking about our failures, when we're thinking about how we haven't been able to do certain things, all we're doing is just regurgitating that. We're living in it. We're recreating that. That's the vibration we're in. That's the way our mind is. How can we come up with million-dollar ideas or ideas that's going to change the world when we are sat there stuck in what has been, what has gone wrong, what hasn't worked? So that's an affirmation that I found really, really valuable. I choose my dream and not my past. It's a reminder to stop slipping back into the past, to stop going there, because your past is a past version of who you are. And today, everything today is a record of the past already, because it was your past thinking, your past feeling, and your past actions that brought you to today. So when I was doing this and I was trying all these different things in my business, I'd feel stuck because I kept resorting to the strategy, like most of us do, resorting to the how, trying new things. But like I said, I kept bringing old expectations. I'd bring the expectation and assumption that it wasn't going to work because it hasn't worked before, almost like lingering in the background of my mind. What's the point? Is this even going to work? It's never going to work. You know, those really subtle doubts hanging around at the back of my mind. So if something didn't work out, then instead of trying again with a clean slate and just being open to possibility and the achievement of the goal that I wanted, the result that I wanted, I would literally just assume and expect the worst so that I could save disappointment, which is crazy and ironic in itself. That is a whole conversation, because by doing that, we're already in the disappointment. We're making the disappointment certain because we've chosen it, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So we're already in that disappointment. So why pick it? Why not pick possibility and risk disappointment rather than choosing disappointment by predicting that it's not going to work and that becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy? So I was also carrying around an old perception of who I was, carrying around the baggage, the beliefs, the self-image, which just meant that as I was moving towards a new goal, trying to create a new reality, new results, a difference in my life and my business, I was doing it from the perspective of my old self, my old limitations, my old doubts, my old beliefs. And it just doesn't work, because you're moving in two different directions. You're moving forward, you're moving towards the goal, and then you're being pulled back by your past, by the things that you're holding on to by the past, because there's nothing wrong with the past. We want to accept it and we want to embrace it. It's brought us to who we are and how we are and what we have right now. But if we're going to insist on dragging it into the future with us like a big heavy bag on our backs, then we're going to create the same thing, because we're not releasing it. We need to release. We need to accept and release and allow it to just be, but not be part of our future, just be part of our past. So there's 3 mindset shifts that I want to share with you that you can start making today to help you clean the slate and stop creating your future from your past. So the first mindset shift is really talking about the concept of time. Okay. There is only now. There's only ever now. You only ever have the present moment. The future and past don't exist. When we were living the past, we were experiencing the now moment. There's only ever now. 5 seconds ago, there was now. Right now, there's only now. In an hour's time, you're going to be experiencing now. That is all we have. It goes on and on and on as the same moment almost, but just because of our human construct of time and light and dark and the 24-hour clock, we get swept into thinking there's all sorts of time. The future, when that arrives, it's going to be now. We only ever have now, and it's now that we create from. When you reach that point in the future, which is now, you're going to be creating from that point because it's now. Is this making sense? So this moment of now, this is where your creative power is. And this is why it can be so dangerous for progress, for results, for success, when we wait. So many of us are waiting. We're waiting all our lives. We're waiting all our business for the right time, for more money to come in so that I can invest in this, that, and the other. Not realizing that until we've invested in this, that, and the other, our business isn't going to change, our results aren't going to change. So then we wait for 2 years, waiting for it to happen, getting frustrated that it's not happening. And we lose that progress time. We lose that opportunity to actually create. We don't want to wait. We want to be choosing to create right now in this instant, which means being bold, which means moving through fear, which means not going back to our past, not thinking on the past results, and actually being present, being in the nowness of now, and open to what tomorrow can bring us, open to surprises, open to magic, open to possibilities, to miracles, to surprises, to coincidences, to anything that's going to help us. We don't know what it is, but we need to be open to it, to experience it. Otherwise, we are determining our fate, our future, and our results by expecting the past. And then we always get the same. So if you're stuck, you're feeling like you're getting the same all the time, this is why. Okay? So how can you use now, this very moment, every single day to create? What are the actions you're taking in your business? What are you waiting for? What are you putting off? What are you avoiding? Because you're wasting precious now creation time. We see it with diets all the time, don't we? I'll start on Monday. Why are you starting on Monday? Monday is going to be now on Monday, but you need to start now if you want change. You can only ever start now. Why are we waiting? Right? It's simply because the values, there's still a value for maybe the unhealthy food or the habits that have created the results that you actually don't want anymore because you want to go on a diet to change those results. Yet you're still valuing what it is that's got you those results more than the outcome that you actually choose, because we're sat in the past. We're recreating the past. It's habits. Habits are an automatic program. Many of our thoughts are an automatic program, but they're everything in our brain. Our brain is a record of the past. So we need to do something different. And this brings me on to the next one. So the second mindset shift and the second concept I want to talk about is the known and unknown. We have to be willing to go in the unknown where we don't know what's going to be happening. We don't know what the result's going to be. We have to be willing to sit in that, to hold space in that place of not knowing. And this is where most of us freeze and clam up and say, no, I'm not going to do this. This feels so uncomfortable. Our brain is a record of the past. When we drag the known into the unknown with us, we're recreating the past. The past is the known. Everything that we know up until now is known. You don't know how you're going to hit that income goal yet. If you did, you would have already hit it. It's in the unknown. You don't know how you're going to achieve those life goals, those visions, whether it's traveling the world, whether it's having a bigger family, whether it's meeting your soulmate, whether it's having your perfectly healthy body and size, whatever it is, the car, the houses, whatever it is that you want. You don't know how you're going to get it. They are in the unknown, and the unfolding is in the unknown. But the more we bring in the known and we think we know how it's going to happen, we're bringing in control. We're focusing on control and not creation, and control gets in the way of manifestations because we think we know when we have no idea. we are not trusting or surrendering to a process and allowing something to unfold to us. We're bringing what we've thought from the past into the future. And actually, it doesn't work. Everything we want is in the unknown. It creates fear because it's unknown. Our brain is geared for survival. It's always looking for what's wrong. It doesn't like us being in the unknown because it doesn't think we're safe. But it is safe. And if we can just shift to the unknown from being a scary place where we feel vulnerable and exposed and uncomfortable to an exciting place of possibility, of dreams, of miracles, of magic, then we'd be more willing to go there without dragging our heavy backpack of past burdens with us, right? So this requires creation. This requires creating new thoughts. This requires embodying new feelings. This requires creating new ideas in our mind and actually using our imagination to decide how we want it to look. Not how we think it's going to look based on the past, because that's just keeping us stuck and getting us nowhere fast. We want to be able to create a new reality. So we are using our imagination to create something new, something that we think it could look like, something that we'd love. And then we're allowing ourselves to sit in the discomfort, in the unfamiliar, and reminding ourselves that this is the place of creation. This is the place where anything goes. And so long as we stay aligned, it's going to be what we want, right? So we're either creating or responding or reacting even. Creating our future is in the unknown. But when we are reacting consistently and have such strong focus on our habitual thoughts, feelings, and habits, we are creating a future based on our past, which is going to give us more of the same. It's the same that we've had last year, 6 months ago, and it's going to be the same in 6 months and a year's time unless we change and embody the unknown. So the last shift I want to talk to you about is who you think you are and who you think you have been. Because again, this is something that we're dragging in. To create something new in our life, we have to become someone new. Who you are now got you to where you are now, which is perfect. It's great. It's where you need to be. But if you want something different, then you have to change. How is that going to happen unless you change? And we have to start by changing how we think, then how we feel, then the actions we're taking, the decisions we're making. These all lead to creating new results and creating a new point of attraction that law of attraction can then respond to and help us on our journey. So I'd love for you to become aware, when you next go to do that uncomfortable thing in your business, notice the thoughts that are coming up. Notice the beliefs that rise to the surface about whether it's hard. I can't do this. I've never been able to do this. Who's going to listen to me? I feel like an imposter. No one wants, I have nothing of value to say or to add. And then maybe old memories come up of things that have happened in the past. Maybe things that feel a bit traumatic. Maybe things that you've really, really held on to and you've identified yourself with. Maybe moments where things have failed, they haven't worked. So just notice what comes up when you're trying to do this thing. And it might be a new project that you're trying to get started in your business. It could be starting a podcast, starting a YouTube channel, growing your Facebook group, having a launch, creating a course, reaching out to people. What's coming up? What are the fears that are coming up? What are the doubts that are coming up? Notice all of this, because all the time, when we're not aware, these are coming up and we are acting on them. We're embodying them. We're carrying them into the future with us. But when we can become aware and let them go and choose to think differently, choose to carry a different emotion and a different energy into the actions we're about to take. So actually we're creating from a clean slate, from a slate of who we want to be, right? So I'll leave you to consider how much of your past is dominating your now. And to just start becoming aware of the things that we've talked about. Are you creating in the now moment? Are you waiting in the now moment? Are you willing to get into the unknown? Are you willing to do things differently? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? Or are you staying in the known, staying safe and repeating the same? And how much of your old self, how much of your limits, your fears and doubts are you bringing into your actions that you're taking in your business to again create more of the past? And how much are you wiping the slate clean? Standing in possibility, holding that space, holding that energy, that frequency, and allowing yourself to create something new. You'll know by the results you're getting too. Are the results that you're getting the same, or are they changing? How much of your business and life is the same versus new? So it doesn't just need to be about your business, how much in your life as well, because our habits, our habitual way of thinking, feeling, and acting is creating all of this on autopilot every single day. So let's start becoming aware. Let's start embracing these 3 mindset shifts, and let's start creating change so that you can actually create a new future, a different future, and you can stop living in your past. So I'll leave you. I'm actually going to leave you with a link if you want to sort of divulge. If you want to dive into this a little bit deeper, especially this last one where I'm talking about your old self and the old limitations and fears and doubts, rather than this new self that you want to carry into the future, then I have a free masterclass that you can watch. So I'll leave the link in the show notes, and it's called The 3 Crucial Steps You Need to Take When Using the Law of Attraction to Hit Any Business or Income Goal. So you might want to go and watch that. It's free and you can just download it and watch it straight away. And for now, I hope you have an amazing day. And I just want to remind you to choose your dream and not your past. And I'll see you in the next episode.